Hope Channel, changing lives.
I am so excited to come your way once again with another interesting, amazing, exciting, educative, informative, all the adjectives you can find, just because today is a great day and today's story is going to be a great one. So prepare yourself for an entertaining show, prepare yourself for very great personalities who are joining me today, prepare yourself for very honest, candid, open-minded conversations today. You know, there are several things that people give up for relationships. Some people give up their freedom, some people give up their work, some people give up their money, their resources, their time, and a lot more. Today's story, we are going to look at how a lady gave up something in order to have a relationship and how it did not go as she thought it would. I always tell you, real talk is by real people, is for real people like yourself, like myself, and like you out there. So I would always encourage you to send me your stories, send your topics to Hope TV Ghana. You can send it through Instagram, you can send it through Facebook Messenger, you can send it through WhatsApp or any other means that are available to you. And we will make sure we find you just the right people to have a great conversation. My name is always Evie. I am your usual hostess for the show. And I'd like to remind you that we are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So you can stream live just so you can join the conversation, so we can have a great discussion. Today's story is one that will keep you thinking. In fact, it is titled, How Can I Win My Ex Back? I know a lot of people will say that when you are done with somebody, you move on with your life, you find something else to do, find another relationship, end up with someone else, and so on. But there are some people too that decide that the people they were with, in their opinion, is who is good for them. So they would probably want to go back to that person because of one reason or the other. And today's story, we have a lady that is in that sort of problem or that sort of situation where she feels like she needs to win her ex back because according to her, he's a good guy and probably the best thing that has ever happened to her. But the guy has moved on and does not want to have anything to do with her. This is so sad. But let me just tell you a gist of the story before I introduce you to my amazing panelists. So there's this lady, she says her best friend introduced this guy to her, and they had to do a lot of phone conversations, video calls, etc. because they were in different regions. But after talking for a while, they decided to be together, as in being in a relationship, and so they were having a long distance relationship. But it was good because they were talking every day, they frequently visited each other, they frequently visited each other in their various regions, and everything was good. So she decided to move to Accra to get a job, and according to her, the guy told her that was a great move, it will make the relationship stronger. And so she searched for jobs in Accra and she got it, and she moved to Accra and she lived with her best friend just to find her footing. So she said things started changing. The guy would ask her to meet him here. She'll go there, he doesn't show up, and then he'll call with one excuse or the other. It went on over and over and over, and she was very understanding and accommodating. But it got to a point that she became frustrated because he would call, oh, let's do this weekend. He won't show up. Oh, meet me here. She'll go. He won't show up. Oh, let's hang out here. No show. So one day he called and told her that, oh, get ready. I'll come and pick you up. We'll go for probably a dinner. She got ready by 7 p.m. By 10, she hadn't heard from him, and he called and said, sorry, I can't make it. So she said that day, she told him a peace of mind. She blasted him, as someone would say. She gave it to him and told him, you can't keep doing this, what, and asked him to lose her number. It was over and done between them. So she said he kept calling after that incident. He kept calling over and over, but she did not pick because obviously she was still in her feelings and she was still very much upset. So she gave it some few days and she was calm, and she decided to call him back. She called and he picked, and he said, she said, okay, I understand, I'm willing to give you another chance. And he said, oh, no, boo, move on, because I have moved on. She said, what? How? It wasn't just a few days ago that you're calling, all of a sudden you've moved on. I was like, yeah, I've moved on, so I think you should do so as well. She's been calling this guy, asking that they meet, asking for a comeback, asking for... Now she's the one asking for a second chance. He says, nope, it's done. But she says, how can she win him back? Because according to her, he's a good guy. And maybe she went off on him too much, or her outburst was just uncalled for. And she wants to apologize. She wants to do everything and anything she can to amend the situation and get her guy back. So this is the story we have on our table today. I told you, a lot of people are giving up a lot of things to be in a relationship. Can you imagine she relocated because of a relationship? It wasn't marriage, it was a relationship. And to get here in Accra and find out that the guy has ghosted you. He doesn't want to be with you. And now, do you go back to your region? Do you stay in Accra with your friend? What is the way forward? So, as we do on this show every single time, I have found you amazing panelists, great conversationalists. As I'm hyping them, you should know that they are good. So I'm going to straight ahead introduce them to you. I will start with the only gentleman in the studio. They say ladies first, but here we are all ladies. So I'm just going to introduce the only gentleman who is joining us virtually, Eric. Eric, how are you doing? Good evening. Eric is not a stranger on the show. We have Eric Kunedu Ansah. How are you doing, Eric?
How are you, Ipi?
Hi. How is your evening? How is everything? Are you okay? The week, how has the week been?
And everything is okay.
We thank God. Are you excited for today's discussion?
As usual. I
Right. It's always a fun time with you joining us on Real Talk. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. So the second person is Jemima Ajua Opon Efriye. Jemima is obviously no stranger. She's a very familiar face. Hi, Jemima. Good evening. How are you doing?
Hi, Evie. Good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. No baking today.
Because I lost my voice. Yeah, I'm okay by God's grace.
Thank God. Why are you not baking today? Because usually you are baking in and out of the commercials.
Not today, not this time.
Okay.
Not today.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for agreeing to join us on the show. Thank you.
You're welcome always.
Oh, okay. So this lady is joining us all the way from the States, a very beautiful doctor. She's Dr. Patricia Sewa Efrifa. I think it's good afternoon at your place. How are you doing?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm doing very well, AV.
It's so
How
great
are you doing
to have
today?
I'm great, actually. Thank you. It's so great to have you on the show.
I'm excited to be here for the first time.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'll start off with you because it's your first time, so we are sort of giving you the floor. What is your general take on the story? What do you think is going on here?
Okay, so a very good evening to all your viewers. from across the world, those watching us from Ghana, and those who have joined us online. A very warm evening to you. And the story is an interesting one.
Right.
I must say. And I will start like this. There is nothing wrong to be in love. One, love is a great thing. There is nothing wrong to be committed to the one you love. And that is also perfectly okay. Whatever happened, the lady relocated, the issue of a distance relationship, you know, sometimes people talk about the fact that being in a distance relationship is hard. It's difficult. But I want to correct this. Every kind of relationship has its own dynamics, whether you are close together or you are in a distance space.
Right.
The whole idea of relocating, if I read the story carefully and I listened to you carefully, it wasn't necessarily because of the guy. She got a job in Accra. Being there because of the guy could have influenced the decision. But I gather that it was something she wanted to do on her own personal level. And again, being in Accra, you see, the relationship moved to a different stretch altogether, knowing that now you're finally here. So at the beginning, everything will be nice and smooth. And then when things fizzle out, it's like going to a new place where everybody will be around you. When things fizzle out, then we will get to our real selves and our real behavior. So I think that nothing really changed. This is how this person she's dealing with. This is his actual behavior. His circumstances could have changed. His circumstances could have changed, as in getting busy with work and other things. But I think that now that he got into, I don't want to sound too theoretical, but every relationship has its own stages, you know? So the rapport stage where everybody is fine and we want to show the best of ourselves. And then when we get to know each other, then we bring our actual selves, because we are able to understand that now this person has grown to love me so much, so I can come up with anything and the person will tolerate and accept it. That's how come she's able to accept him disappointing her on different counts, yet she still gives him another opportunity for them to meet again.
Right.
So I don't want to discuss the entirety of the story, but just on the surface, the summary that I give is that it is not bad to be committed to the things that you love or to be passionate about being in love. I think there is nothing absolutely wrong with that. But what we are not told in the story is that she's only talking about herself. We are not told what the guy also gave out for the relationship to also exist. What the guy did, we don't know. It is just about, hey, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. So she doesn't tell us what he actually did. He said she concludes that he's a good guy. We don't know he's a good guy until we get to the end of the story. So sometimes when there is a situation and we are discussing to get a better understanding of the situation, you need to let us know the full story from both sides, not just on your side. You know, so we only know the negatives of the guy. We are not told what's positive about him. So those are my initial comments for now.
Thank you so much, Sewa. Like Sewa said, there's always three sides to a story: your side, my side, and the actual truth. But for the sake of the story that came to us today, we will just have to bear with the information we have and deal with that. Jemima, I'm coming to you and I'm going to ask you, obviously, for your general take on the story and then about relocating because of a relationship. You are all the way in Kumasi. I'm wondering if you would do that. You move to Accra to be able to be closer to the one you love and to sacrifice the comforts that maybe Kumasi gives you.
Hi, good evening to everybody listening. Hello, Evie, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, that's good. I hope I'm really loud because I have an issue with my voice, as I said earlier on. My general take on the story, well, it's just, it was, for me, I felt a little bit sad for her. I kind of understand what she's going through because when you're in a relationship with someone and it's long distance, and for a female, you know the way we are with emotions. So, and the guy was able to satisfy even via long distance. Much more when we are physically in the same local or geographical area. So her relocating, definitely she would expect more, you know, from the guy, from them meeting a lot. And it's sad that that didn't happen. But I like what Sewa also said, that it also proves who the individual is, because you see, when you were maybe back at wherever that she was, the mode of communication was only the cell phone. When he's busy at the office or wherever he is at, he can easily communicate with you. But now that you're in the same region with him, you are expecting the physical contact, the physical meetings and the like, which I believe that's when you really get to know, probably he's a very busy guy then, you know, that he can't really make time to meet up with you, or I don't want to say what I'm thinking, or maybe he's a little bit, you know, fishy or whatever. So I kind of feel bad because I think that's a very common situation that relationships go through, where one relocates or one really feels that he or she has made lots of sacrifice, but then you don't see the other partner really contributing for you to be that fulfilled. So I understand her. Then again, we also don't know the guy's part or the guy's story. Yeah. So yeah, that was my general thing. I feel bad for her with, you know, she feels she sacrificed a lot and she expects, you know, she was also expecting some things from the guy, but the guy wasn't able to do that to fulfill her. Now, about the issue of relocating because of relationship, I think it depends on the extent of the relationship, you know? Yeah, so I mean, you can't be in a relationship for, it depends on the extent and both intentions, because two mature adults can be in a relationship for 6 months and they would have really known each other so well that one would want to move so that the relationship moves on towards marriage. Equally, others can be in a relationship for about 2 or 3 years or 4 years before such decisions are made, because they needed a step before they get to that maturity level. So I think it depends. It really depends on the situation. Definitely one party has sacrificed. And with a part of the world, it's sad. It's often the ladies that do sacrifice. So if you have some partners that they are having issues with location, it's always the ladies that we blame. Why are you not moving? Why are you not moving? Why are you not moving? You know? But with relationships, so it depends. I think it depends. It depends on the relationship, the extent that you are in, the age that both parties are, to portray their sense of maturity and take such decisions.
Okay. Before I come to Eric, Jemima, I'd like to ask, what could be some of the reasons why just suddenly the guy's attitude changed? Because according to her, everything was great when they were doing the long distance relationship, and I'm sure things were good even when she moved to Accra freshly. So I'm wondering what's probably happened that all of a sudden he had no time or not enough time to spend with her. He cancelled on her and ghosted her several times. What could be some of the possible reasons? Is it because he found another girl or he was busy with work?
I think there are two parts. One could be because he found something with the lady that he actually doesn't like. You know, because when you talk on phone, it's different from when you meet in person. But probably he can't really say it. So then I know guys who use the reverse psychology, or where they don't talk to you. We call them, they go the MIA on you, as if like they're busy, but they've seen something that they don't really like, but they don't have the B thing to really say it, like, because of this and this, I think we can move on. So then they try to distance themselves. That's my experience with guys. Another part is it's possible maybe he found someone else.
Okay.
You know, so two sides. Maybe he actually really found something with the lady that he's not really interested in. Sometimes online you might be fascinated about so many things you talk about, but when you meet in person, then you'll be like, oh, so that's her, or oh, that's him, you know. So it kills your energy about the person.
Right.
Or he could actually have someone, you know. We don't know.
We don't know.
So we are just
we can never be too sure.
speculating.
Yes, yes. Eric, coming to you. Your general take on the story, and you being a guy, what do you think could be some of the reasons why you would just be less interested in your relationship with this girl, less you put in less effort, if I should say, canceling on her last minute? What could be some of the reasons why this could happen to a relationship?
Okay, Evie, good evening to you guys, and good evening to all the people watching at home. There is something I want to do. I don't know if it is allowed.
Okay.
I want to say a good evening to my mom, who is watching us from Ketikrachi, all the way to Ketikrachi, and I want to say I love her so much.
Oh, that's so cute. That's amazing.
Let me get on to the story.
Okay.
When you read the story, it looks like, you know, it was almost perfect until, you know, two people painting a love story, and one decided not to paint anymore. One decided to, you know, do the brush.
Break his pencil.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that the whole thing ended prematurely, just because one decided to, you know, vent out her spleen, and the other one also decided to say, okay, then I cannot take it anymore. The whole thing is that I know we'll be discussing the whole story in length, but the whole thing is that I think the man, actually, it's about the man. The man should have been matured about it, you know. If you don't want the lady, I think the best thing to have done was to sit the lady down and talk to her. That should have been the best thing about it. Jemima have said everything in the story already, but I want to touch on the guy.
Right.
I think this is the time we become deliberate. We become serious about relationships. If you go, you know, we've become a communal, you know, kind of people. We want to enjoy each other's space. We want to bring in people into our space so that, you know, I have some kind of bond with them. It is cool. It is okay. But before you do any of these things, before you ask somebody's daughter to be in a relationship with you, I think you must be a man enough. And when we talk about you being a man enough, it's not about, you know, the other things. We are talking about you being able to, you know, get a hold on your relationship. Talk to the person. You should be able to talk about issues. Because when you read the story very well, we cannot pin our hands on our fingers on anything.
Right.
It's just like the man there, then one day he decided, I won't continue again. But you can't do that.
Exactly.
You can't just decide not to continue again. Okay, so and you asked me a question about why would
I asked possible reasons why a guy's attitude would just change. Oh, Eric is frozen. I think there's an issue with Eric's internet connectivity. On that note, I would like us to take some words from our sponsors. When we come back, I'll try and take Eric's final words. Then we can continue with the rest of the story. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back.
The vieux fait dit non non les filles les COVID-19 eyi ya me tilao vidibolao subosubolao mio efio plus de tufio enye mio de dasipe mi akpopo bi america ma wo funya de fio america me sa de fio le e ka popo monu america me das le fienti wano chachamle eduko me basa eta vinyo ele bene miano apama ale so le bene miano nene na edogu ye yi nevala ele bene aklasi ni ajale ehie le duko na de kameliola ele bene asa hand sanitizer ako aklasi ye na ebi yayi abesubo domela obobi yuduko face mask afine agele amio pedomi megagele amio amesubo domi na ebe yanyiye alo yakpekpela ele bene asa otishi akotwolu akpekpe anyinya lebe na awovola akwedala wodudo nugweme na de kamela sibola ele bene anyinya le wabodomi ele bene nya yiji mi anobodom labe do fodi ye tova hemela enu avayi mida mebene kaka so wana okodala ibene defio wano dedie COVID-19 anu avayi anu ha boyige enyenye mamaga adesu efefelie madam mebene kaka so wana apenemi.
This message is brought to you by the government of Ghana with support from UNICEF and partners.
From that quick break, we are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. You can join us live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. You can tell a friend to tell a friend, and you can leave your comments under the comment section. Your opinions, your thoughts, whatever is going through your minds, just leave them there, and let's be a community and discuss this very interesting story. And before we went, I couldn't get in touch with Eric as he was making his point because a certain bird decided to sit on his internet wire. But we'll try and get in and check with him again. And so far, we've been discussing a very interesting story of a young lady who was in a long distance relationship with a guy, and she said it was good. She decided to move to Accra, find a job so they could be close, and she was living with her best friend. But upon moving and relocating, the guy just seemed very distant rather. It's so funny that over the long distance relationship, he seemed closer. But now that they are close physically, he seemed distant because he was not fulfilling his promises. He was not meeting her when he said he would. He was not taking her out when he asked her to get ready. He just was not putting in enough efforts. So this led to a very huge argument, and then she asked him to lose her number. And after some days, she reached out and he said, I'm done, I've moved on, I think you should do the same. But she said, aside this whole issue that started happening recently, he is a good guy, and so she wants him back, and she wants to know what to do to win him back. Before I ask my panelists what they think this lady should do to win the guy back, or if they think she should win him back at all, I'll check him back with Jemima since I can't reach Eric and ask. Eric, are you on the line? I hear you on the line.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yes. Can you quickly tell us the things you wanted to tell us so that we can...
So,
yeah.
So I actually wanted to... Relationships are, you know, very serious things. If you are not ready, please, don't go.
Right.
Don't go in. Don't ask somebody's daughter, you know, to be in a relationship with you and all that. And you see, we should be forthcoming with our feelings.
That's true.
You ask somebody's daughter to come to Accra, even though that the lady from the story, you can envisage that the lady actually wanted to be in Accra. She was searching for a job.
Yeah.
And you influenced the decision.
Right.
That is okay. the lady came to Accra. Before the lady came to Accra, you people have been meeting, talking on phone, visiting each other frequently. And so I don't think, as Jemima said, it has got to do with the guy finding out that there is something about the lady he doesn't like. I think they've been in this for a while, and the guy even advised that the lady comes to Accra. So it is not about that. So I think that we should be forthcoming with our feelings. If you are in a relationship with somebody and you think for any other reason you cannot continue, please don't leave the person in limbo. Don't try to stand the person up. It is not nice.
Right.
So that is just about it. And you asked me why would a guy bail on a lady. It is when the guy doesn't really know what he really wanted from the beginning. If you are into a lady and you finally, as we say, land the lady, then I think it should be a good thing for you, the guy.
Right.
Unless you are not so serious with it, unless probably you have other, relationships somewhere, you will need to take care of them. If not that, I think from this story, it should have been a perfect love story. Until the guy decided not to paint anymore.
Right. Until the guy decided not to paint anymore. Jemima, do you think the lady went far with her outburst when he called to explain why, as at 10 p.m., he hadn't made it to the plans they made at 7 p.m.?
No, that is very normal. Like, if she hadn't, then I don't think she actually really liked the guy or loved the guy as she claims. She should, because, like, regardless, relationship or no relationship, you don't waste someone's time, period. We live in an era where time is very important. And much more when it's someone that you care about, you love, you're going on a date, you're excited about it, and he stands you up. Like, it's not cool, So I think it's very normal. It would have been abnormal if she hadn't. She would have been like, oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You need to really say what you feel, because you've wasted her time. Probably she put on makeup, taking 30 minutes to put on makeup, the shoes, the dress. I mean, no, you don't do that, Yeah. So I think it's very normal for her to kind of like really say everything that she feels, which the guy should actually understand, because obviously she felt offended and she felt hurt,
Right.
But she really wanted to meet you. So I don't think that really should have caused a problem. Relationship comes with problems. You're supposed to fight, you make up, then you move on. So I think it's okay for her to do what she did. It's really fine.
Jemima thinks it's okay that she was upset and she made him know. Sarah.
Yeah.
So what do you think she went too far with her outburst?
Okay, so I'll start this way. I don't know whether you want me to make comments on what Eric said.
You can.
Of the guy, or just go straight.
If you do have something to say.
Okay, so I have a few comments to make on the guy's attitude, and I will begin this way. It's a true proverb. Let me say it. I'll bring it back to English. Yes, it literally means that if you create time for the things that matter to you, you will always be available to do them.
Right.
So we can give excuses. We can give him the benefit of the doubt that when the lady moved into Accra, having a distant relationship is different from being physically present, because, like they rightly said, the situation may never be the same when you meet in person.
Yeah.
In the past, we used to, if you've listened to some of these highlight music, that people used to send other people's pictures to see them and then be interested. And now when the person comes down in person, it's not the one they're actually expecting. It's like The picture is different from who I saw.
Yeah.
That was a picture. Now, when you meet in person, there is always a huge gap and there is a difference in most instances. So in the case of this guy, I agree with the earlier submissions. He might have seen something that he didn't like about the girl. And like most guys do, he's not able to talk about it. That's okay. In the other instance, genuinely, he could be busy. Perhaps he had different work schedules. But with the proverb that I gave, the things that matter to you, if you schedule and you make time for them, that's why I began with the fact that love is a commitment. You need to sacrifice other things for the person you love. So there is actually no real excuse for why you won't show up. And it is not just once, it is not twice, it is on countless occasions. And when you do that, it simply is telling a story that I don't care about your feelings. I don't care whether you are hurt about this or otherwise, because she has registered. And let me add this. The fact that you are able to say sorry to people, if you keep apologizing for the very things you keep doing, it doesn't mean you are actually sorry. It's just a routine thing that then in the end you begin to do. Right. You're not apologizing. You are just, you know that as soon as you say, I'm sorry, it will kill everything. So once he's continuously apologizing and doing the same thing, he's not changing anything. And every normal person is going to be upset with this. So this is how I start off with how she reacted. Perhaps Jemima would have done worse. I would have done worse. If it is on the reverse, and it's Eric who a girl is treating that way, he would actually put her phone, her calls on don't answer. You know, these things happen. These things happen. It is just about the lady being human. And I agree with the earlier submissions on that. However, in being in a relationship with someone, there is something that we call emotional intelligence. You need to apply that a lot. You need to know how to react when you are angry at a certain stage of your life. If you don't mature living with people, and every time there are several ways that this could have been dealt with, but she could not do it on the other way. She could have tried to also avoid him and see if he would come back later to ask why. But going the extent of you initiating that, okay, it's enough. Let things be. You know, when I read the story and I was trying to understand the attitude of the guy, you know what comes to my mind? Sometimes, Eric even said it in his submission, sometimes a guy has seen something that he doesn't like about a lady, but he doesn't want to own up, or he doesn't want to bear the responsibility of breaking up the relationship. So he's going to act up until you get frustrated, and then at some point you say enough is enough. Then he stands on that and say, okay, I didn't say so. It's your fault. It's not my fault. It's yours. And then you take responsibility. Now, what I see is happening to this lady is that she's feeling terribly guilty because she thinks she ended the relationship.
Right.
And if I don't want to jump into conclusion, from reading the story, from the attitude of the guy, I think that the relationship was way over before this last meeting.
Okay.
So I don't want to, I think we're just going round about it. But from what I see and his reaction and how the guy, because you cannot tell us that somebody said it's over and then in a month, if this is the person you so much loved, in less than a month you have moved on and it's also done and over with you. I don't know what kind of moving on he has moved on. But from this attitude, which is very disrespectful to the lady, I think that's what what I see from listening to all this. I think that part of the reason could be that he moved on long ago, and he was just buying time for this opportunity to come. Right. And then she gave it up so quickly. At some point, she couldn't take it anymore. But in trying to, even when we are angry, we need to know how we react to situations in relationships.
Right. Thank you so much for that. Eric, coming to you, do you think that, first of all, do you think she needs to win him back? Do you think she can win him back? If yes, what are some of the things she has to do to win him back? Give us your male perspective and what the guy is probably hoping she would do in order to win him back.
Evie,
yeah.
Before I touch that, before I talk about, whether he's going to, she should go on ahead, and try to win, or, otherwise, I would also want to talk about the outburst.
Right.
That we should know. There is a general rule. I hope everybody is listening. There is a general rule. Don't break up a relationship after an outburst. It's a mistake. It's a big mistake. Don't do that. Get angry. Do what you do with your anger. Provided you don't stab the person, you don't shoot the person, you don't cause any injury to the person, you can slap the person and the person can take it. I mean, with women, not a man slapping a woman. Want that, do that. If you want to beat the guy's chest, do that. If you want to give the guy a knock, do that. If you want to, don't. But you cannot in any way break up a relationship after an outburst. It is a no. We don't do that. Don't do that. Nobody should do that. So straight away, I don't think the lady should go back or the lady should try to win the guy back. I don't think it is necessary.
Okay.
That is me. That is how I see it.
Okay.
I don't think it, but because you cannot give love to somebody who does not need love.
Yeah.
If you want to, and the person says, no, I don't want you to love me, it will look as if you are forcing something through the person's throat. And obviously, he's not going to take it. So in this story, I think the lady should just forget about the guy. But if, people have their own ideas. If, yes, she want to, she misses him. She misses the way she feels when the guy was around her and all that. Yes, you miss the person and everything. But I think this is the point the lady moves on. But if she wouldn't listen and she will still want to, go back for the guy, there is only one thing she can do. Okay. I think she should just, cut the guy off. Okay. That is the first step. Yes. If you want to win somebody back, especially with men, today when I go after here, I know the men will attack me, but you let me give the women. If you really want to win a guy back, cut the guy off. That is the best way to get something back, or that is the best way to get, your man back. You know why? After cutting the guy off, curiosity will creep in. Because he knows. Probably you've been worrying calls, you've been stalking him on social media everywhere. You've been crying, you've been talking to his friends, you've been sending text, you've been calling at dawn, midnight, and all that, and he's not minding you. When you realize that, just cut the guy off. That is it.
Okay.
When you cut the guy, I said earlier on, the guy will begin to be curious. This used to be the same girl who was, receptive, right. Who was desperate to talk to me. So why is she not doing it anymore? And the very moment becomes curious about something, the person becomes baited. Like he will take the hook in a very short time, because he will be coming back to find out why you stopped talking to him. So that is it. If he really wants the guy back, he shouldn't be calling the guy. Yeah. He should just cut him off.
Okay.
Probably he can even start by deleting his number, or deleting his number and his friend's number on his phone, and start from there. Yeah.
So you got the tip from here. Eric is giving us the 101 tip on how to get your man back. He says, cut him off. Curiosity will creep in. He'll start wondering what you're doing and how you seem to be moving on without him. And that will get him calling you and asking you, how are you doing, just to see what is going on in your life. Very interesting. I'm sure the ladies out there who want their exes back are going to try this so soon. Okay, Jemima, really, your final words for this girl. Do you think she should try winning him back? Do you think she should forget about it? And if you think yes, she should, what are some of the things she can do? Eric has given us a huge one. In your opinion, what can she do? And your final words to the lady. Is Jemima there? Oh, I don't know what's happening.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
yes.
I was muted.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so I know how ladies are, like, the way we are so emotional. So in situations like this, I don't think we'll be the first people to tell her that. Let it go, because the worst thing you want to do is give love to someone who doesn't want it. Relationship is a two-way thing, He needs to be interested, you have to be interested, so that both of you can come together and work towards a common goal.
Right.
In this situation, he doesn't seem so interested. So then the question is, what are you actually winning? He doesn't like you, he doesn't want you. He says he's moved on. Probably he's moved on to another girl, so you will actually become a second wheel or a third wheel that he doesn't need in his life. So I like the advice that Eric also gave. So probably it's now time that she just understands if that's what his position is, then I will also just move on. Not necessarily dating again,
right? But
also just join single life, and finding yourself and getting to know yourself. It wouldn't be easy. Time heals. So after time, after weeks, after months, you forget about everything, and then you meet another guy and you fall in love again. That was just by the way. But I mean, the bottom line is you can win someone who doesn't want you.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a battle, so there's no point in that. But you know how we are. We can give all this advice, but she still wants to do it. So I guess if she really still wants to go ahead, she should use Eric's advice, where you just cut him off. And as he said, curiosity will always let them come back if they really, truly loved you. Right. If they did not, they wouldn't come back. So that would actually be the reason for you to know if the guy really loved you or not.
Or not.
If he did as he claims, and she does what he's saying, he will definitely come back. So my final word to the lady is she should calm down. That's not the end of the world, She should calm down, get to know herself, enjoy her single life, and pray to God for a better man in the future. He says he's good. She says he's good. Maybe a better one is waiting for you, so that things will be okay. And relax, enjoy her friends. Now she's in Accra. She says she lives with her best friend.
Yeah.
They should just enjoy each other, have friends, do several things, socialize, so that when the guy also sees her, he wouldn't see a sad, lonely girl, but rather a happy girl, and be more curious about how come she's moving on and being so happy. So that would be my message to the girl.
Okay, that's a beautiful one. So my lady watching, please calm down, enjoy your friends. I'm sure when you came to Accra, your best friend, you're not spending time with her because we're all over your relationship with this guy. It's now time to spend, it's now time for you to spend time with her and for you to get new friends and just enjoy the things you love doing. There's nothing like a happy girl. They say the happiest girls are the prettiest girls. So it's not the end of the world. Somebody will come along if this guy goes on. Sarah, final words to this lady. Should she continue asking for him to come back, or you think she should move on?
Okay. So relationship is about three main things. It's like playing football. You win, you lose, you draw.
Right.
I don't like football, but I like to use the submission. Yeah, you win, you either win, lose, or you draw.
Right.
And anyone that comes your way, you accept it in good faith.
That's true.
Why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? That the two panelists have already said that love is a choice. If people don't love you, you cannot force them to love you. And for a woman, it will be a great disservice to you if you choose to be with someone who doesn't love you and try to make him love you.
Right.
So if he said he's done and over with you and you've made the effort to go back, apologize and say that, hey, I am sorry, I didn't mean this, I was upset. And he said, okay, I have also moved on. That's fine. Don't hit yourself so much. Every day we learn. I don't know how old this lady is, but every day is a learning process for us. So take the lessons that you got from this relationship and then apply it to your life and move on, my dear lady. The worst thing that you would want to do to yourself as a woman, you are a queen, is to go around begging someone to love you. There is someone out there who is dying to just even say hello to you.
Right.
So put your energies on that. Focus on where you will be celebrated, not where you're being tolerated. That's what I want her to understand. And then again, we can tell you that we think from the look of things that this will be good for you. I know that it's going to be a very difficult thing for you to do. But if you live your life in a morose way and you're feeling sad all the time, Jemima said, you have a lot of networks that you might have blocked because you were in this relationship.
Right.
Now that this guy has decided not to be with you anymore, just explore your other networks. You have friends, you go to church, you belong to groups and associations. Just focus on that. Even your old students association, all those groups, they are there. Just find time, have fun for yourself. And in so doing, at some point in your life, don't be so quick. You know, what people do in this situation is that some people will say, okay, if you said you've left me, I want to also show you that I have met somebody. It is not a competition. You don't need to win by all means.
Right.
Take it easy. It is your emotions. So what you do is that just take it easy on yourself. Give yourself time to heal. Gain more maturity in dealing with your anger. And then once you're able to do that, I am sure that in your next relationship, you're going to really, really succeed. I wish you strength, and we pray that the Lord will help you to go through this and become a better person and meet the love of your life, who will treat you like the real queen that you are. Take care and be good all the time. Smile always and look beautiful, our dear lady.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really, Sawa, you concluded everything very beautifully. Thank you so much. And I hope she's listening. You're a queen. Sawa clearly said you should go to somewhere that you'll be celebrated and not tolerated. I'd like to pick just, I think, 5 comments so we can go. Our time is fast spent. This is from Yvette. She says she should move on. Hey, this red flag, dear. She really should let go. He's giving you signs enough. Okay, Akosia says the issue is in the last paragraph. He is a good guy. A good guy would never leave you hanging without a good explanation or communication. Communication doesn't cut just like that. I'm sure he had a girlfriend and was having issues with her when he met this one, so he was enjoying everything. Okay, Terrell says already tried that. Going back to an ex, already tried that. It was a huge mistake. Why go back to something you intentionally let go? It's not so ideal to go back to an ex. The person is an ex for a reason, remember? Ruth says it's obvious he only wanted a fling. Wanting this type of guy back means you're ready for more heartbreak. He's clearly done with you. Move on. Nanole says the guy moved on a long time ago and you just made things easier for him. Okay, thank you guys so much for sending in your comments. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us, and thank you for listening. To my amazing panelists, thank you guys so much for your time, for your commitment and dedication to the conversation, for all your amazing inputs and for all those tips that we got from all of you. I am sure, I keep going back to what Eric said about what to do about the guys. I am sure the Eric has given the code out, so the guys will be coming for him. But the ladies, we like it, and so we are grateful. Thank you guys so much for making it on the show. We are always grateful. God bless you abundantly. To all my viewers out there, you guys are a great community. You're a huge support to Hope TV, and especially to the show Real Talk. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate your dedication and your commitment. And we say God richly bless you. And to my amazing crew, I always say this. You guys are amazing at what you do. You do it excellently. And it's not easy to run a TV show or a TV station, but you guys do it so effortlessly. God continue to bless your work and to continue to bless your families for being understanding and patient even as you work through the night. So it's always great coming your way. It's always humbling when you give me the opportunity to come into your homes, and for that I say I am grateful. I will be back same time next week with yet another exciting episode of Real Talk. Remember, we can also share your story on the show, so do send it to us on our WhatsApp number, on Instagram, or on Facebook, and we will find you amazing panelists, as we did with Dr. Patricia Sewa Ififa, with Eric, and then with Jemima as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll be back same time next week. My name is Evie, and enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV Ghana.